Desiderio desideravi literally says, to be admitted to the feast, all that is required is the wedding garment of faith. Whether we're talking about the feast of the Eucharist, it's heresy, anathematized in Canon 11. If he's talking about the feast of heaven, the Eucharistic feast up above, then we're talking about the heresy of Canon 9, anathematized in 9. 100%. Even as dictated by his defender, Francis's defender. There's a relationship between a public crime of heresy and what ought to be the juridical pronouncement of heresy. In other words, they should be very related, distinguishable in only one way. So if someone clearly commits an open public crime, the way Francis really has been with some of these different material heresies, then he ought to be taken to task. Not by you or I, because we're lay people. Remember, which the Pope splainers pretend to believe. Oh, just let the proper authorities do it. Well, now that procedure is underway. And honestly, it's kind of dumb that I'm even saying, well, now, in September of 2022. It began almost 6 years ago with the dubia, and we just all forgot about it. It's been almost 6 years since they submitted dubia, which is the proper people, the College of Cardinals, Francis's counselors, saying, if you don't clear this up, it's heresy. That's what dubia are, if you don't understand that. If you don't clear this up, this primary construction or interpretation, people are going to take it heretically. That's what dubia are and have always been in the Catholic Church. He intentionally refused not to, and that tells the whole tale of the tape. But with regard to this latter heresy about sola fide, again, anyone you know or have heard of that are defending against this on any channel, show them this board. Screenshot this. Screenshot it, folks. It's very simple. Sola fide is a heresy. Whether you're saying only faith is required for the Eucharist, why the critics wrote the letter, or you're saying only faith is required to get to heaven, which is how Francis's defenders defended against the critics. That's no defense. That's a worse heresy than that, maybe, if you quantify them. It's a better known heresy than that, and they're both officially defined, officially anathematized. There is no escape this time. Show them this 30 seconds. Anyone out there. And I'm not and sometimes trads have shaved off a word or two to make a council or a pope sound worse than he is. I'm not shaving off anything. To be admitted to the feast, all that is required is the wedding garment of faith, which comes from the hearing of his word. Whether you're talking about the feast in heaven or the feast of the Eucharist, it violates the Council of Trent. I don't see how it gets any clearer than this.